Now we have actually discussed about something called as insertion shot, and we have also seen what do you mean by bubble sort here. So today's session will be discussing about something called as selection sort. As I told you that these three, whatever we have discussed, we have been discussing till now, we can all the three sorting techniques. What we are exactly seeing here, these can be applied for small number of lists. Okay, so we can be using where we have smaller number of lists. There only we can apply it. Sorry. But if you have a huge number of lists, then definitely we'll be going to something called as quick sort, radic sort, and merge sort. So here, in this particular case, why I'm saying small list is, as you can see that the time complexity of all the three algorithms is something similar to order of n square. For example, if you are giving some 10 and elements, okay, if you are giving a 10 elements in a list, it is going to do how many comparisons here? 10 square. That is 100 comparisons it is going to do in order to search or sort them up in a sequential order. Apart from that, if you are giving 100 elements, then what happens? We have already seen it. So 100 square. So that will be, something 10,000. And if you're increasing the list, then automatically what will happen? So if you people are increasing that particular list, so 1,000 square. So that will be something like, 10,000 square means it will be 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is almost once times 100,000, 10,000 lakh, 10 lakh. So almost 10 lakhs comparisons has to be done when you are giving a list of 1,000 students. Assume as 1,000 students you people are giving and you wanted to sort them up. So it is going to do 10 lakh comparisons, and it is very, very complicated thing for a system to do 10 lakh comparison. It is going to take a lot of time. That is what the problem. As the list keep on increasing here, the time complexity keeps on increasing. Okay, so it is something like this. So that's the reason we cannot apply them for larger what we call larger list whatever we are having. For that we are going to use something called as quicksort, radic sort, and merge sort. So today we are actually going to discuss about something called as selection sort. It is also one of the simplest sorting technique what we do have. So if you talk about sorting, what we call selection sort in this particular case, so as I told you, this is a quadratic sorting technique what we have, and the running time is something quadratic. That is nothing but similar to your insertion sort, order of n square here, and that is the reason why we cannot use it for larger applications. If you are wanted to sort larger number of elements, this is not a suitable thing. But if you're having smaller number of elements, then we can apply this particular sorting. And apart from this, whatever we are saying, it can perform whenever if you try. I mean, if you want to try to do comparison, if you want to compare this particular selection shot with your insertion shot, which one is better? Well, definitely the insertion shot is somewhat better when compared to your selection shot. Why it is? We will see the performance. Based on that, you will come to know. Okay. And moreover, it is a very simple technique what we are applying in order to perform this particular selection shot. And sorting files with large objects and small keys. So here this is suitable only when we are trying to sort large objects with small keys. In the sense, you may be having a lot of data, but that data whatever is there, you that will be in a format of records. Okay, that data whatever you're having is in a format of a record, and every records will have one key. Okay, something like, if I'm storing information related to you people, something like your name, your roll number, okay, your age, and your what we call, you're from which branch, and all this is what we call it as a record, right? So you can see there are a lot of data is present here in a single record. So like this, if I place a record, I will be having only 60 records here. 60 records, and every 60 records will have only 60 keys. So in that case, what happens? Even though internally there are a lot of parameters are there in this, still we will be using only one key in order to sort all these things. So in that way, this particular algorithm will be somewhat better when compared to other algorithms, whatever we are having. And so here, like, what is the technique we are going to follow in this particular selection shot? It's very simple. This is something like, we'll be considering an array here. So that array will consist of n elements. That is basic thing what we know we are following for everything. So first, what we are going to do is exactly here. Okay, let me explain here in this technically. So then you can go for the theoretical aspects, whatever it is. Let us suppose this is an array. Sorry, I'm not good at drawing. So this is an array. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let us consider this is an array which we have array A, and this consists of some around 7 elements. You know that 0 to 6 means it is nothing but 7 elements we are considering here. So how this particular searching, this selection sort works here is very simple. It will try to find the minimum, the lowest element whatever is present in this particular array, whatever is the lowest element we have. Okay, let me give that list also, something like 5, 21, 22, 15, 40, 32. Let us suppose these are the list what we do have. Now first, this searching algorithm, this selection short, what do you mean? The name itself, it says selection. So what it is going to do is, from the list of elements that have been presented here, it will try to find the only lowest element that is present here among all the elements. You people can see here the only lowest element what we have here is at location 2. That is what? 1. Now this is what that the system is, this particular sorting algorithm is going to select, and this will place it in the first position. Now this particular thing will be placed in the first position. So immediately how your array will be now something like, so this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here what it is going to do, as I told you, the selection shot will try to select an element which is lowest among all the elements that are present in this. And what is the lowest element we have here? 1. And this 1 will be placed in the first position. So that is somewhere here. In this particular position it is going to place. So 1 will be placed here. We are interchanging. Now we are doing swapping. This 1 will be here and this 5 will be here. Then remaining elements will be same. 20, 22, 15, 40, 32. Okay, did I miss something? 22, 15, 40, 32. Okay, sorry. This one is extra. 7 means it becomes 8 elements. 6. Yeah. So this is what the actual array we got after the first iteration, means after the first looping statement. Now here if you see, this particular slot is fixed. You can say that this particular slot is fixed, and the next time what it is going to do in the next iteration or the next pass, what the selection shot will do, from the remaining elements whatever we are having, we will be selecting the lowest element present here, and that will be placing in the second position. So here we are going to sort it in ascending order. So in the next position, that is at position number 1, we will be placing the lowest element present among them. So if you see here, what is the lowest element we have among this is 5. So simply after that looping statement or the iteration takes place, this 5 will be replaced with 20. So you people will be getting something like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here what happens here, now you people will be getting, so first position is already fixed. Now after the second iteration, this is iteration equal to 2, means second pass, second looping has been taking place, second time the loop is running. So that time this 5 will be coming here, this 20 will be coming here, then 22, 15, 40, and then finally 32. Now if you see here, after the second iteration, first iteration this particular place is fixed, after the second iteration this particular place is having the lowest value what we have, and then the next iteration I equal to 3, from the remaining elements whatever we are having, we will find the lowest element here, and that element will be swapping with this particular position number 2. So in this way, finally what is the output you people are going to get after all the iterations is 5, then you're going to get 15, then you will be getting something 20, 22, then 32, and finally 40. So this is the way how exactly it is doing, means it is going to select first the lowest element present in this particular location within the array, and that particular look, whatever the lowest value we have received here, that it will place it in the initial position, and after that one by one position it will be keep on adding. So this is the first position, and then in the second iteration the second position will be filled, in the third iteration the third element will be filled, in the fourth iteration it will be filling the next element whatever. So this is the way how it is will be filling. So it will select an element, that's a reason it has been given a name called as selection Sure. So that is what theoretically now I'm going to explain here. So first it will try to find the smallest element here within the array, and we will be placing in the first position. That is what we did here, right? And then we will find the second smallest value which is present in the array, and then that we are going to place it in the second position. And this process will be repeated until the entire list is sorted. So here, since we are actually placing it in the position here, so I'm going to use a variable something called as position in this particular thing. And here in this particular position, we will be determining the smallest value. Based upon the smallest value wherever we are getting within an array, we will be storing that position in this particular variable called POS. And simply later on, we'll be swapping it. As I told you that we have to swap it up. This I will show you what we call graphically, how exactly it works. So just remember it. And then what we are going to do once we are swapping it, the first array, the first position of the array, whatever the array we are having here, that is sorted. Then what happens when the second pass takes place? We will be sorting, we will be getting the next sorted value in this particular variable that is called a of 1. We are going to get the value in a of 1. So now after the second pass, the first position and the second position is consisting of the smallest elements that are present in the array. Same way this particular process will be repeated until you people are sorting the entire n minus 1 arrays, the entire elements whatever we are present here. So basically here this is the graphical format what I wanted to show you here. This is the way. Now you can see here this is the entire array from 0 to n. Okay, so this is, let us suppose this is the entire array here. Thing, this wall will be separating this array or dividing this array into two halves in the sense whenever the first position is filled, so that means that position is sorted, isn't it? And the remaining elements we have to sort. So from the remaining these elements we need to sort, and we need to arrange them in ascending order. And from these remaining elements, when the next smallest element is been added here, this wall will be incremented somewhere here. What does that mean? So this particular position is sorted, and these are the remaining elements what we need to sort it up. And later on again we'll be selecting one more element, minimum element, and that will be. So as we are keep on incrementing the pass, as the pass is keep on incrementing or the iterations are taking place, the sorted value will keep on increase and the unsorted array size will keep on decreasing. This is what exactly going to happen in this particular scenario. This I will show you with the help of example. Let's first see uh, the algorithm related to this. This is a very simplest algorithm what we have. This is, but here we are going to use two different methods in this particular scenario. If you see here, first selection shot. So I'm doing something like int k I'm taking here. This is a variable. Since I have to store the position of the smallest element what is present here, so I'm going to select this variable. And then temp. I think you people know why we have used temp. Since we need to do swapping of the variables, so definitely we need to use something called as temp. Now we will be starting. So for k equal to 0, so we will be starting from 0 to n. Okay, less than n. So that is nothing but, since if you have taken in the earlier example, I have taken how many elements? 7 elements. So how many? So the number of passes, how many we need to do? 0 to 6. So when this 6 becomes 7, this condition will fail and this loop will be terminated. So that is what exactly we are doing. So 0 to 6 we are exactly performing here. Now here in this case, what we are doing initially, I need to determine the smallest element position. I need to find, so within an array, which position the smallest element is present, that I need to determine. So that's why I have called this particular statement small POS is equal to. So I think you people know what I mean by POS here is nothing but a variable which will consist of the position of the smallest element. So since I need to find the smallest element here, I am calling this particular method that is more smallest. And this I am passing three different parameters. I think you people know A is nothing but this is an array. The array which consists of that 7 elements, whatever it might be. And K is nothing but the initial iteration. So K is equal to initially 0. So I'm passing here 0. The list of elements that are present will be represented by A, and n is the total number of elements. So earlier we have taken 7, so 7 elements we do have. And from here, remember, when the statement, when the program will start executing, okay, so when this particular statement is executed, immediately this will be transferred to this particular location. It will not go to the next step. Since you people have called a method here, immediately the control will go to this particular location. So you can say A is an array here which consists of list of elements. Initially the value of k is 0, and then how many elements. Okay, let me take an example also along with this. Yeah, this is the example I'm taking here. You can see here I have a list of elements here, 77. So A is an array which I'm taking here. 77, 33, 44, 11, 88, 22, 66, 55. Total 8 elements I'm taking. So what will be the value of K? How many? So what, till what extent it is going to execute here the value of K? K equal to 0 to 6. Isn't it? 0 to, I mean, 7 iterations it is going to do. Total how many iterations? 8 iterations. But total how many? 0 to 7 iterations it is going to do. So total 8 iterations. But since we are starting from 0, so it will stop at 7. So initially, what is the value I'm sending here? The list of elements here. So total how many elements? 8 elements I'm sending here. What is the initial position here? 0. And then n is nothing but 8. Now here in this particular method, whatever the logic you're saying, this will try to find the smallest element what is present here, and along with that it will be determining the position of the smallest value. And later on this method will return only the position of that particular value. Okay, whichever the smallest value is present in that array, only that array position we are returning here. You can see here return position. So we are simply returning the positions in this particular location. So let me take an array here. I'll show you first in this way particular by working part, and later on you people can see it graphically. 0. So it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 8. So you can see here total 8 elements, right? Okay, sorry, not 8 elements now. So it will be 0 to 7. I have added one more extra here. You can remove this. Yeah, 0 to 7. Now, if you look at here in this particular say, so here we are having 77, 33, 44, 11, 88, 22, 66, and then finally 55. Fine. So what I'm doing exactly, let's see the working part of this particular scenario. So initially what I'm sending here in this case, initially the value of k is equal to 0, 0 is less than 8, condition satisfied. So I'm going position equal to smallest of arrays. This is the array which I'm sending here, A. And what is the initial position here, k? 0. What is n? 8. I'm sending it. So here the k is 0, here 8. So initially we are setting position equal to 0. So I'm selecting this particular because this is the location where I'm going to store the smallest element here. So that's the reason I'm selecting this location. So position initially I'm taking it as 0, and that position, within that position, whatever the value I'm having, I'm considering that as the smallest value right now. So small is equal to a of 0. So what is the value we have here? Small equal to a of 0. What is the value we have in a of 0 is 77. Now we will start incrementing and we'll compare with the remaining elements that are present in this particular location. That is, we will be comparing the 77 with this, and wherever we are getting a smallest element, we will be taking that value and the position of that particular value. So initially I equal to k plus 1. Now I value is equal to k plus 1. What is the value of k we got here? 0. 0 plus 1 is 1, and 1 is less than 8, condition satisfied, enter into it. If a of I is less than small, so what is the value of I? We have 1. So a of 1 is less than small. So in a of I, what is the value we have? That is a of 1. What is a of 1? We are having value 33. Now he's trying to determine whether 33 is less than the small. What is the value of small? We have 77. Is the condition satisfied here? Yes. You can clearly see the condition has been satisfied since 33 is less than 77. So what we had to do, as I told you, we will be selecting that value as the smallest value, and we'll be selecting that particular position. So here that means the small will be changed. So small is equal to a of I. So what is a of I here? A of 1. So that is small equal to 33. And what about the position? We have to change the position also. So position is equal to I. So I is equal to how much? 1. So now this time, this is the position we are selecting and this is the value. Now this value will be comparing with remaining elements. Remember this. So again, now K value will be incremented now. So again, this loop will be going here. So I value will be incremented. Now this time I is equal to 2. So I equal to 2. What is the value we have in I equal to 2 here? 44. So we will be start comparing whether 44 is less than small. But now this time the small value consists of value 33. Is 44 30? Is 44 is less than 33? So definitely this particular condition is going to fail. So what happens here? This if statements will not be executed. Again, it will go back to this particular looping statement. Now again, the value of K will be incremented here. The value of K here will be incremented. Now this time, what is the value of I? You people are going to get. So 1 is completed. So 1 plus 1. So 1 is completed, 2 is completed. Now this time the value of I is 3. Now again, we'll be checking whether if A of 3 is less than small. So what is the small value? We have 33. Whether A of 3 is nothing but 11. Whether 11 is less than 33 or not. Yes, the condition this time is satisfied. 11 is less than 3. So what we need to do? We need to change the smallest value as well as position. So simply that is what we are doing. Small equal to A of 3. So in A of 3, what is the value? We have 11. So that means, so here what happens exactly? So 33 is getting replaced with 11. And what is the position of that 11? 3. So definitely we have to replace that also. So position is equal to 3. I hope you people are getting it. So this is the way exactly. Now this time the smallest element what we got here is 11. Now next what we have to do, again the same process will be repeated now. Now this time the value of I will be something called as 4. Now we have to find whether A of 4. What is the value we have in A of 4 here? 88. So whether 88 is less than the smallest value. What is the smallest value? We have 11. Is 88 less than 11? No, the condition failed. So it will simply skip this particular if loop. Again, it will come back to for loop. Now this time the value of I will be equal to 5. Now we'll again check whether A of 5 is less than the smallest value. So what is the value we have in A of 5 here? 22. Is 22 is less than 11? No, the condition again failed here. Then again, this particular if statement will be skipped here, will be coming back here. Now I value is equal to how much? 6. So within A of 6, what is the value we have? 66. Is 66 less than 11? No, again the condition failed here. Then again it will be coming out of this particular if statement and then it will be executing this. So now this time the value of I is equal to how much? 7. Now with the last element we are selecting here whether 55 A of left 7 is less than the smallest value. No, this condition also failed. So we'll be simply skipping this particular if statement. Again, it will come back here and it will perform. Now this time, what is the value of I? 8. But you have to check the condition here. 8 is less than 8. No, the condition simply fails. So we have checked all the values. Finally, what is the value we got here? Finally, the value what we got is the smallest element what we got here is 11 and what is the position of that we got is 3. And since we are trying to get the position from this, so the smallest element what we have 3 that will be transmitted. You can see a written position. What is the position here? 3. Now this 3 will be transmitted here. So this 3. So now this time you people got position equal to 3. Now what we need to do? We need to swap the first element, I mean A of 0 with A of 3. That is what we are doing. So here temp equal to A of K. What do you mean by K? Initially we have 0. So temp equal to A of 0. So in A of 0, what is the value? We have 77. That value we are storing into this particular temp. And after that, what we are doing? A of 0 equal to A of 0. The K value is 0 only, equal to A of position. So what is the value we got from this position? 3. So whatever the value we have in A of 3, we are placing in A of 0. So what is the value we have in A of 3? 11. So now this time A of 0 is equal to 11. So that means this value is going to change. And after that, A of position. What is the position value we got in 3? So A of 3 is equal to, we are simply swapping it up. A of 3 is equal to 10. And in the temp, we have a variable, what is the value we got? 77. So A of 0 should have 11 A of 3 should be having 77. So finally, if you see here, what is the arrow? So here you will be having 11, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So A of 3 should have 77. Remaining elements will be same. That is 33, 44, 77 completed 88, 22, 66, 55. 4, 5, 6, 7. So remaining elements are same. Now you people can see here the first position has got the first smallest element what is present in the array. Now this time there will be a wall here. So this is a sorted one. Now we will be selecting this position. And for this position, we'll find the smallest element. After that, what will happen? After the second iteration, now first iteration is completed. Now k value will be incremented to 1. Again, the same process repeats. So after the second iteration, the first two elements, I mean the first two position will be sorted and the remaining will be unsorted list. And later on in the third pass, this particular elements will be sorted and this will be unsorted. And finally, all these iterations will take place and finally the entire elements will be in a sorted order. Now let me show you graphically so that you people get a clear picture of this. See here. So in the first pass, k equal to 1, whatever I've explained here, this I'm representing. So this is the first position I've selected. This is something like 0, 1, 2, 3. I think you people can understand now. 5, 6, 7. So you can see here, the first position I have selected here, something called as 0. And then I have compared this with everything. And finally, what is the position I got here? The third position consists of the lowest element when compared to all the elements present in the array. What I need to do is simply swap it. So in the second iteration, you can see here, I am representing here with the yellow color border here that represent that particular position is sorted and the remaining elements we need to sort it. So at k equal to 2, okay, the second iteration when it is taking place, we are selecting the second element, that is first element at location 1, whatever the element we are having 33, and we are comparing with every element and we found that at location 5, at this particular location, at location 5, we got the element which we wanted to swap it up. So we are simply going to swap 33 and 22. And finally, the output we are going to get here is 11, 22. So at third iteration, first two iterations are finished. So these two, whatever you're seeing that yellow color, so there is a wall here. So these two are sorted and we have to now sort from the remaining n minus 1 elements, whatever we are having. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements. And later on at k equal to 3, when we performed this operation, so we are compared 44 and we got a value called 33. At which location it is? Fifth location. We simply swap it up. And then finally, what is the value we are getting here is 33. So at k equal to 4, fourth iteration, already the first three have been sorted. Now we are comparing 77 with the remaining one and we found that 44 is consisting of the smallest element among all the elements present here. Simply swap it. And when we are swapping it up, you can see 11, 22, 33, and 44. Now we will be comparing 88 with the remaining elements which are unsorted. So we found that 55 is the element which is having a smallest element here. We'll simply try to cover it up. So you can see here 11, 23, 33, 44, 45. So all have been sorted. Now you, as I told you before, now what you people are seeing here, these are sorted. All these elements are getting sorted up now, isn't it? The sorted array is getting increased, whereas the unsorted array is getting decreased. Now all this we are doing in a single array. I did not take any auxiliary array or temporary array to store the value. Within a same array, I'm performing it. The same array I have divided into two halves. And this half is getting increased and now this half is getting decreased as the iterations are taking places. So here that's why it is called as in place sorting. Even selection sort is called as in place, like your insertion sort. This is also called as a in place sorting algorithm. Remember that. So finally, the last pass, what we are doing it. So here you can see here 11, 12, 33, all these are sorted. Now this, we are left only with two elements. So this 77 will be compared with 88. You know that 77 is less than 88. So definitely there will not be change in the position. So we'll be getting the position as 6. So same thing will be there. There will be no swapping taking place here in this particular case because they are present in the same. And finally, you people got the sorted order. So you can see here, uh, Everything you people can see clearly here. So it is in a sorted order: 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, and 88. So this is the way how exactly this selection shot works. So it will first select the first position, and that position will get the smallest element, and then it will go for the next position. This will have the next smallest element among this array. Then it will go to the third position, the third smallest position, whatever the value is there, that will be placed here. Then the fourth smallest element will be placed here. Then finally fifth, and then finally sixth, and then finally seventh. This is the way how exactly this particular algorithm works. It's very easy. Let me show you one more example. This is something like a pictorially, like I told you about there is a wall, and that wall will keep on increasing and all. That I'm going to show you here. Let's take this example now. 23. So this time I'm taking only six values here: 23, 78, 45, 80, 32, and 56. Now you can see this, the wall is present initially here because there are no sorted elements here, all are unsorted here. That's why the initial wall is here. So this is the original list what I am having. So after the first iteration, when it takes place, I will find that 8 is the smallest element present among this particular array. So this 8 should be interchanged here, and this 23 should be placed here in this particular location. And when I'm doing it, you will be getting the first sorted value. Yeah, you can see here. Now this time after the past one, that is the first iteration, you got the smallest element 8 in the first position. Now we are going to compare the next element. What is the next element we have? 78. This will be comparing with the remaining elements, and we will find that 23 is the smallest among the entire array. So this should be replaced here, and this should be here. And when we are performing that particular thing, automatically you are getting two sorted arrays. So you can see the sorted array is getting increased and the unsorted list is getting decreased as the number of passes are increasing. So in the third pass, 32 will be coming up here, and then this will be here. And now in the after the fourth pass, 45 should be coming into the sorted list, 78 and 56 are left. And after the fifth pass, automatically 56 is coming up into this particular location, and 78 is coming into this particular location. Finally, all the elements are sorted. You people can see here. This is the way how exactly your selection shot works. The name itself says that it will select an element which is the smallest element among them and first position that we are having in this particular scenario. So this actually I have taken from this particular site. So this was beautifully represented here. So just that's the reason I have used this here. Now, finally, let's talk about the performance here. Performance of a selection shot. Well, already I have discussed it in the beginning itself. You people can understand this. So as you know that it is going to take total of n square elements. Why? If you can see here in the first pass, we have tried to find the smallest element from the remaining n minus 1 elements. So there are 7 elements are there. From that 7 elements, we are trying from 6 elements, we are trying to find the smallest elements. And in the second pass, what we did, since we people have got the smallest first one, so this is left. What, how many remaining elements we are left with? 6. So among these 6, I'm trying to find the smallest element. And later on in the next pass, I'm trying to find the smallest element from the remaining 5 elements. And then in the next part, I'm trying to find the remaining elements from the remaining 4 elements. Then 3 elements, then 2, and finally 1. So based upon the mathematical expression, what we have, same what we have seen in the insertion shot, same functionality we are going to write. So the function is, first I am going to compare with n minus 1 elements. Then we'll get a first sorted element. Then I am going to compare the remaining with n minus 2 elements. Then I'll get the second sorted element. Then I'll compare with the n minus 3 elements. Then I'll get the next, and so on until there is only single element left. So based upon this, this is in a series, n minus 1 plus n minus 2 plus so on this. So we can write it as n into n minus 1 by 2. This is the final expression. So when we solve it up, this is n square by 2. This is like minus n by 2. So this is something because order of n. This is order of n square by 2. As I told you that 2 is a constant here, you people can simply leave it up. So whichever the polynomial is highest, that we need to consider here. What is the polynomial we have here highest is n square. So finally, order of n square is the time complexity for this particular selection shot. It means that if you're taking 10 elements, it is going to do 100 comparisons. But if you are taking 100 elements, it is going to do how many? So around 10,000 comparison. And as the number of elements increases, same way the complexity of this particular thing also increases. So that is like, if you're taking 1,000 elements, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So once tens, 100,000, 10,000 lakh, 10 lakh. So 10 lakh comparisons. If you're taking 1,000 elements in a list, 10 lakh comparisons has to be done in order to perform it. That's the reason they are keep on saying that the selection, insertion, and bubble we can for larger list. For larger list, you people have to use something complicated kind of sorting algorithms. That is nothing but merge sort, radix sort, and then we have quick sort. Those are very fast. And coming to the advantages of selection sort is it is very simple and easy to implement. Well, I think you people can understand how simple it is. Within 10 lines of code, you are able to sort it up. So it can be used for small data sets that we already know that. And it is somewhat 60% more efficient when compared to bubble sort. So researchers have did investigations on this. They have did with different inputs they have given to the bubble sort and insertion sort. And based on the comparisons, they have found that 60% is more efficient, this particular algorithm what they are talking about in this. But what one thing what we have to keep here is that in case of large data sets, the insertion shot is better when compared to something called as selection shot. Okay, insertion shot is somewhat better when compared to selection shot because insertion is not like fixing it up. It will not select it. It will keep on comparing, and based upon the comparison, it will place the values. That is the only advantage. But here it will be fixing it up. It will select the element. So it has to do a lot of comparisons and all in this particular scenario. So this is all about for your selection shot, what we do have. So I hope you people have understood exactly the working of it and how it exactly works. It will simply select one of the elements, smallest element first, whichever is present in the array, and that it is going to place it in the first position. And this will keep on increasing in the coming iterations. So I hope you people have enjoyed watching this particular video. So this is all for today's session. Thank you. Thank you for watching.